Hi everyone, this is Jennifer Belvini, and I'm coming to you live from my kitchen. I've been up since early this morning and I've already been busy at work, so I'm just going to make sure that this is coming on live. Oh, there I am. Okay, great. Got my iPad here, got my coffee, I'm ready to go. Okay guys, so today we are going to make a baked orzo dish. So I'm super excited about this dish today because it is going to showcase Pampered Chef's new enameled cast iron collection, which I'm so excited about for a couple reasons. Let me just move my coffee out of the way. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous Dutch oven. I mean, if you could feel the weight of it and touch it, it's just as beautiful as any other kind of Dutch oven I've ever seen. And in full disclosure, if I were to open up my cabinet here, which you probably can't see, I have a full cabinet of Le Creuset, which I love. But what I didn't have from Le Creuset was a 6-quart Dutch oven. And I know for a fact that those Dutch ovens are very expensive. My husband said, that's a lot of money to spend on a Dutch oven, don't you think? Well, turns out I started with Pampered Chef, and based on my sales on May and June, I actually ended up earning this Dutch oven for free amongst a whole bunch of other fall products. But I was super excited about that because I've wanted a 6-quart Dutch oven for a long time. So what's cool about this Dutch oven, getting right into it, is not only the design and the shape and just the pure beauty of it and the price. This Dutch oven is, I believe, $190. I'll have to get a catalog to make sure, which is about the third of a price of what any other brand would be, is the lid. Okay, so my Dutch oven users, if you're making soups or stews, what is the number one issue that happens when you make them, when you put a lid on top of the pot? I will tell you, if you don't want to guess, because I don't know if anyone's here yet or not, my number one problem is distribution of water from the lid into the pot, which then ends up making my dish either more soupy, more watery. It changes the consistency of it. So with this lid with our Dutch oven now, there are these bumps, and I call them moisture bumps. There's probably an official name for them. I probably need to know that name. I don't right now, which help redistribute that water and moisture evenly throughout the time of your cooking, and so you don't have that pool of water that you lift the lid and it goes like that. So that is something I'm really excited about because that is really an ongoing problem and challenge that I have with Dutch oven cooking. So that is a really cool design feature. Color is beautiful. The shape is beautiful. The size is great. Just everything about it I just love. So I'm really excited to cook with it with you today. Let's go ahead and get started. So I did a couple things in advance, and I don't know if you saw the page earlier, but I literally decided to make this dish. I was talking to a friend who's having a party right now, and she is like a nutritionist, and she made this delicious soup that I was thinking about making, just kind of replicating hers. But then I realized I didn't really have all the ingredients, and I thought, well, maybe I should try something. I was going to do it in the Dutch oven, but then I was like, well, maybe I should try an official Pampered Chef recipe and go with that. But of course, as you guys know, hi, Mom. I love when my mom watches. It makes me so happy. But as you guys know, I usually don't do recipes exactly how they're made to do, or I try to do my own angle on it. So this morning when I got up and decided to make this baked orzo dish, which I decided to already add some sausage into it because my husband doesn't like just a pasta dish. He wants meat, and even though there's protein in this dish from the chickpeas, that was kind of something that he always, he'll be more likely to eat it for a longer time with meat in it. So my consolation was Italian sausage, which is always a hit. We use a chicken Italian sausage, which has no nitrites. I always talk about that stuff. That's really important to me and my family, that I give them food that I know hasn't had processed or hasn't had extra additives in it. So anyway, long story short, I had a whole big box of cherry tomatoes from Costco, and I was like, what am I going to do with these tomatoes? I was going to make a sauce or whatever, and then I was like, oh my gosh, the recipe calls for fire roasted tomatoes, which of course I didn't have. I had my usual Tommy tomatoes, which I love. They're Italian tomatoes. They're amazing, but they weren't fire roasted. And I was like, well, I don't really need to use fire roasted tomatoes because you don't. But then I was like, but I could fire roast them myself. So I did. So what I did was, and I posted this earlier if you want to check it out, I chopped this cherry tomatoes in half. A great collection of heirloom tomatoes. You can do this with any kind of cherry tomato, any kind of tomato really. You know, recipes recommend Roma. It's probably going to be the best flavor for you, but cherry tomatoes are just full of so much flavor. It'll be amazing if you use cherry tomatoes. And even if you just have one kind versus all the different kinds that I had, that's great too. So cut them in half. Doused them in some olive oil, salt and pepper, and a tad of oregano, just a little bit of oregano spice. And then I put them on my large bar pan. Now it's called the stone pan. So this is our new stoneware. And actually, this is the first time I've cooked on this pan because I have a large bar pan, which is now called the stone bar pan. But it's not the dishwasher safe one or broiler safe one. So I wanted to see this one, how well it cleaned up just in the sink, and it cleaned up really well. And I roasted my tomatoes in this. And I did it for under 450 degrees for about 12 minutes. So yeah, you don't want to do it for that long. You don't want to burn them. Then you probably want to watch and see what your oven does and the size of your tomatoes. I figure since your cherry tomatoes, it would take a little shorter amount of time. So I did that. And then I took and if you've watched any of my Go Lives or my website or my videos, you know that I love the manual food processor. And here's why. I took those cherry tomatoes and I popped them in here, and I pumped it a few times, and I got this deliciousness. So my tomatoes, 14 ounces of them are ready to go. I think it's about 14 ounces. We're pretty close. And they're fresh tomatoes. That's fantastic. So that was what I did this morning between 7:30 and 8 or something like that. It took me a whole 15 minutes. It was no big deal. So that's what I did for that. So this recipe calls for olive oil, an onion, 2 bell peppers, any kind of color you want to use, orzo pasta, a can of fire roasted diced tomatoes, 14 ounces, which, like I just explained that whole thing to you, what I did with my tomatoes. So I have those all set and ready to go. Deliciousness. Roast your own or get them, whatever. Chickpeas, a can drained. So I'm going to open this for you and drain it. I've already pre-opened it, but I'm going to open it on your side to show you how easy our can opener is to use. Greek rub, which is a rub I have not tried yet, but I'm super excited about it because I've been to Greece. Actually, I went to Greece with one of my sisters, and I love everything, all Greek food. I love feta. I love olives. I love Greek flavors. And our Greek rub, see if I can read this, has salt, spices, sugar, dehydrated garlic, modified food starch, lemon peel granules, red bell pepper granules, citric acid, natural flavor, canola oil, and turmeric. So a whole bunch of deliciousness in this Greek rub that we're going to use for this recipe today. If you don't have the Greek rub, I just pretty much gave you the rundown on what's in it so you can make it yourself if you want to do that. And then red pepper flakes. I always have red pepper flakes on hand. We're a spicy family. We like our red pepper flakes. And then salt and some baby spinach leaves at the end. So we're going to preheat our oven to 400. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So what's great about cast iron is it goes from the stove top to the oven, and that's what we're going to do with this dish today. So we're going to start out with heating the oil in our cast iron Dutch oven for 3 to 4 minutes. But I'm going to wait and do that because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up our peppers and our onions. But first, coffee. Gosh, I love coffee in the morning. Okay, so I'm going to take my Santoku knife and just cut the tops off. You guys have seen me do these before. And I always have a bowl handy to dump everything in, so I'm ready to go there. I'm going to cut the tops off of both of these. And then I'm going to take I have this thing, this product we put, corn more. You could use a scoop loop if you have it, or whatever scoop kind of thing you have. And I'm just going to scoop out the insides really easily. Get those inside out. That reminds me of that movie we were just watching with my daughter a couple days ago. Oh my gosh, we watch so many movies now that we have a toddler. It's fun. One of them we're watching right now actually is what we just watched is Coco. And so for Halloween, we got our Halloween-inspired outfits from watching that show. It was a good way to kind of bring the story back together for our daughter. and also have some fun for us. My husband is a Halloween fanatic. We haven't decorated yet this year. It's kind of an off year for us because we just don't know what's going to happen with Halloween. And we have to be something scary is his rule. And my rule is they have to be something like dramatically interesting or pretty or something like that. I always have that princess complex from being a little girl and always wanted to be the princess. So we are going to be characters of Dias de los Muertos from Coco, but our own version. Okay, so what are you guys going to be for Halloween? Message me. I want to hear what you're going to be from Halloween. I'd love to hear and see what you're going to be and if what you're doing for Halloween. Okay, so now I'm just going to chop this into chunks with my Santoku knife here. Put those aside. And I'm going to work in batches to put these in the manual food processor, and I'm going to chop them up along with the onion. I'm going to put some of my onion here, so I'm just going to chop this into chunks. Now, I could use my manual food processor or I could use my food chopper, so maybe I'll do a little bit of both. So if you haven't seen the food chopper in action, you can see that. Just going to cut off my edge here. Santoku knives. Our knives are amazing. This is the Santoku knife I'm using, which I believe is can be the workhorse in your kitchen for a knife. If you had one knife and you were intimidated by the chef's knife, which is 8 inches long, then you might want to go with a Santoku knife. You might feel like you have a little bit more control of it. But really, knives are all about you feeling comfortable with the knife. So if you don't feel comfortable with the chef's knife, then you should not use a chef's knife. In full disclosure, I've cut myself a few times with these knives. These knives are very sharp, so please be careful when you use them. I've had knives for a long time. My knives were not a fourth as sharp as these are, and a fourth as sharp at doing the good job that they need to do when you have a knife. Okay. So I've got my onion and my pepper here, so I'm going to pop it into the manual food processor, and I'm just going to kind of dice it up, and I'm going to do it in batches so that I don't overcram the food processor, but I'm going to get a really nice chop here to put into my orzo dish. I'm not overstuffing it. We'll see what happens. This is one of my very favorite products from Pampered. I don't know how I survived without this. I have an amazing food processor, but quite frankly, it's a pain in the butt to clean, it's a pain in the butt to get out, and I don't use it as much as I thought I would. So this I use all the time because it's so convenient, and it's so easy to use, and it's easy to clean. So I'm going to finish up with this, but I'm going to add oil to my Dutch oven right now to get started on that. And we're going to move over here when I cook, but for right now I'm just going to add my 2 tablespoons of oil into the pan. I was just trying to see if there's garlic in this dish, but there's not, so that's kind of interesting. But I guess the Greek rub has enough flavor in it, so we're going to do 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm using my adjustable measuring spoon here. And I'm using one of my favorite things in my kitchen. These are from Italy. I love these. Actually, my friend Julie that I went to Italy with is having a Pampered Chef party this week. We were just talking about our Italy stories. And what a great trip that was. We actually did a cooking school when we were in Italy, which was really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and let that just cook up a little bit. Whoa. It shouldn't pop like that. So I always make sure that Adriana's not near me when I'm doing this kind of stuff. Okay, so here I go with my onions. I got my onions and my peppers in here, chopping away. I'm going to add these to the Dutch oven. After about, what does it say here? 3 to 4 minutes, okay? Oops, off track. Off track. Let's stay on track. Okay, I think we're good with that batch. Probably about 3 batches of these, I guess I'll do. Seems like. I'm just going to put them in the bowl here. The spatula. My husband was in the kitchen this morning cooking, so some things are moved around. Okay, get those all out and do my next batch. So yeah, the manual food processor, also, you know, I told you I used it with the tomatoes this morning. And here I am using it again. So that's twice in one dish. Again, I could use the food chopper if I wanted to, but I'm just going to go ahead and use this because this seems to be working out really good and fast. Faster. I don't know, faster, but I'll do a couple with the food chopper to show you though, because I think that is one of the handiest tools and one of our most popular products that we sell at Pampered Chef, and it's been in existence for almost all the 40 years of Pampered Chef. Pampered Chef is celebrating their 40th anniversary this month. A little bit more. Okay. So I'm going to put these, I'm going to go ahead and put these in. Let these cook up a little bit. You can already tell this dish is just going to have so much flavor. I'm so excited about it. And to be honest, in true confession, I've never cooked with orzo before. Isn't that weird? We cook a lot of pasta in this house, but I've never cooked orzo. So I'm excited to have an orzo dish for my family and get our daughter on that train of liking orzo. So I'm just adding it to the Dutch oven. It's all going to cook up. What's great about this Dutch oven is it's 6 quarts. So all this stuff is going to cook in there. And I have plenty of room to not make a mess on my stove top because it's nice and deep. This is our mini skinny scraper I'm using. I love these because look at, I'm getting every little bit out of there. No waste. If you know anything about me, you know I hate waste. There's very little things I hate in life. One would be wasting. Okay. And for the other ones, I'm going to go ahead and get my food chopper out so I can show you how easy that is to use. So all you do is take the lid off, and then we're just going to take these peppers. And we're going to chop them. I actually was using this the other day to make chicken salad. Okay? You know how easy that is? There we go. I'm going to throw these onions over here and just do little batches. Okay? Move it around. Actually, it's funny. The whole time I had this food chopper since 2007, I kept the lid on and I was keeping the food in the lid. And I was actually at a party, at a party, in-home party. And someone said, "You know, you just can move it around on the same thing." I was like, "Oh, duh!" It's like eye-opening experience. You know what that's about? That's about learning from other people. And it's so important that we continue to learn from other people, regardless of how good you think you are at something. Humility goes a long way. Okay, so now I'm just going to take these, since I have them on my prep mat, I'm just going to pop them into the pot. See how easy that is using these prep mats? Okay, so we're going to let that cook down for about 3 to 4 minutes. And I'm going to get the rest of this stuff out here. probably cooked for a little while, so I'll probably just give it another minute or so. Okay. Now we're gonna move over to the other side. So I'm gonna quickly move you over here so you can watch me cook on the stove. Because the rest of the stuff is gonna happen over here. Okay. So I'm just going to show you what's happening here. So you can see how the pot is. I've got my little mitts here, and we're just kind of cooking this down, okay? So we're going to cook this down, and for that I have, oh, these are so beautiful, you guys. So this is our occasion wood utensil set, silicone utensil set. It's just so beautiful. I have this spatula too. It's in the drain because my husband used it this morning. So this it has a spaghetti spoon, a regular spoon, and a spatula. Beautiful wood. Don't put these in the dishwasher. It's occasion wood. Okay? So I'm just going to stir that around a little bit. Oh, already the flavors. I am just going to love this dish. Actually, there was one more thing I wanted to show you that I was going to do that I did in advance is I have sausage, and so I used our quick slice for the sausage. So I'm just going to cut up a little bit more sausage. And the quick slice, cut these like this. Watch. So I put the sausage in, and then put the sausage in, and then I push down, and the sausage slices in perfectly even slices. So I'm going to do another one to show you. But what's cool about this quick slice is it's got a V-shaped design. So it holds on to things as you push down on it. And the lines, the sections are even. So you get even slices for whatever it is that you're cutting. Okay, I think we're good here with this. So our next step is we are going to add our broth. Okay, so for our broth, I don't have any fresh made broth today, so I'm using this concentrate broth, which I tend to use for quick dishes and quick fixes. I grab the chicken and I buy the beef one. The recipe says vegetable, but I'm using chicken because I'm not making this a vegetarian dish, so I don't really care what I have. So if you were going to make this as a vegetarian dish, you wouldn't use, you would use vegetable. Okay, so we're going to add the broth in. Make sure I get all that out of there. We're going to add our broth. Now this is cooking down really nicely. And our orzo. This is our 2-cup measure all cup. So we got 2 cups of orzo in here. Put that in. You get a quick stir. And the tomatoes. I'm gonna add my tomatoes in. Those nice fire roasted tomatoes. Oh, I'm so excited for this dish. Just excited to try something new. And that's one thing I love about Pampered Chef. If you're not signed up, I'll share the link with you. But the website has a bunch of recipes, thousands of recipes that you can just make in your home so easily. We're gonna add chickpeas. Okay, so my chickpeas are already cut, so I'm going to, let's flip this way for a second. I'm gonna rinse them, and I used my can opener to do that earlier, but I'm gonna show you how the can opener works. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my chickpeas and rinse them real quick and drain them. And we're gonna add those to the dish. Get them all out of there. You're seeing my behind the scenes mess. A real kitchen. Okay, so we're rinsing the chickpeas. Always want to rinse everything in cans. Definitely. Okay, so I'm going to pour those into the pot now. Add those in. And red pepper flakes and salt, Greek rub. Okay, so we need to put the Greek rub in there. So the Greek rub is going to be 2 tablespoons. I told you this is going to be so yummy. 2 tablespoons of the Greek rub. I have no cameraman, so I'm my own cameraman. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons. 1. And my adjustable measuring spoon. And I'm going to get all that goodness out of there. Oh, that Greek rub. Again, you can make it yourself. But we have a great Greek rub to use. Okay, and the salt. Salt is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Again, I've got my adjustable measuring spoon. Set it on a 1/4 teaspoon. And red pepper flakes. Red pepper flakes is going to be a 1/4 teaspoon, but I'm just going to kind of guess it and not go crazy with it. Okay, so we're going to stir this, mix this around. Oh, you can already smell those flavors. You cannot see this. Let me just show you kind of what it's looking like. So you can see all the yumminess. Smells so good. So good. Okay. And we're going to let that cook down for bringing it to a simmer. And then we're going to move it to a heat. It already kind of is at a simmer, so I'm just going to leave it here for a few more minutes. And I'm just going to cut up one more chunk of sausage so you can see that. I'm going to do 2 actually because I know we like a lot of meat. So putting the sausage in so you could see. I'm putting it in like this. And I'm just going to push down, line it up, and push down. See how I'm doing that? Just like that. Push. See how it's pushing through? And pop it through like that. And that's the rest of my sausage. I think 4 is enough. So I'm using 4 sausage links that I'm going to put in the dish on the top, which is additional to what the recipe says. So I'm going to bring this to a simmer, and then we're going to go ahead and put it into the oven, stir in the spinach. And then cover and bake until the liquid has been absorbed and the orzo soft, about 12 to 14 minutes. Okay, you probably didn't hear anything I said. So now I'm going to go ahead. Now this is at a simmer. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And I'm going to add my spinach and my sausage. And I'm going to pop it in the oven for 12 to 14 minutes until all the liquids are absorbed. Okay? So I got my spinach in here. Oh, I love this. By the way, if you guys are looking for a good product for your kitchen for Tupperware, the Tupperware Fridge Smart series is really good, and it keeps your produce fresh for a lot longer. So I'm doing like about 5 ounces of spinach. So I think it's probably like a handful or so. And this is all going to bake up in the oven. And that's it, you guys. And I'm going to also throw in my sausage. And this is one of the recipes that's on our website, but also in the Season's Best. My add-ins were my own tomatoes, roasted tomatoes, and adding the sausage. Okay, so everything's all in there. Let's get the sausage in here too. My sausage is pre-cooked, so I'm not going to worry about how long it takes to cook or if it's going to overcook. It'll be fine. So here's what this dish is looking like. Oh, you guys, I just love a gorgeous looking dish, and this dish is so gorgeous. I know I say gorgeous all the time, but that's how I feel about food. If it's not gorgeous, I don't really feel like eating it. Okay, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Like, wow. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that into the oven. I'm going to set my timer for 14 minutes, it looks like. Let's see. 12 to 14 minutes. And then we can just talk while that's cooking. And we're going to cook it until, like I said, the orzo's soft. And you can top it with feta and olives. I don't have feta, and I have olives, but I'm not going to do that. But you could do that if you wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven, and I'll be right back. Going to put the lid on. Cover and bake. And we're going to pop that into the oven. Okay. So, while that is cooking, we've got time to chat. Let me go back to over here and just open it up for any questions or anything you want to know. And just kind of clean up this mess I've created. Oh, I was going to show you how to open up the can, do the can opener. So let me go ahead and do that. Because I know a can opener is one of our very popular products too. If you don't have one, you need to have one in your kitchen. Because it's a great helper in the kitchen and easy peasy to use. Okay, so I have my can here. Where's my can opener? Here's my can opener. I'm just get some things out of the way here. I'm just going to attach it on so it locks, and then just go around and twist. And then, oh, I lost my grip. Hold on a second. It stopped. Do it again. Okay. We're going to go all the way around. I'm doing this in the bottom of the can. You know what? I don't think it's going to work actually in the bottom of the can. But we'll see. So how it works on the top of the can where there's a ridge is then it creates this non-sharp edge that you should just be able to pop the lid off. Oh, and I can do it. Okay, yeah. Just didn't go, it's round, so it didn't go all the way around. My can's dented on the bottom a little bit, it looks like. So that's how it would come off. You would just kind of pop it off. It didn't go all the way around because my can is a little bit dented. But so that's our can opener. It also has like a little side can opener and a release button. Very handy product. I was going to tell you something else that's fun and exciting while things are cooking in the oven. So as I mentioned, it's Pampered Chef's 40th anniversary. So look what I got in the mail the other day. Food Brings People Together, signed by Doris Christopher, who is the founder of the company, which is very cool. Because she is still around in the company, and she still is a big influence. Like, she's at the helm of the company, working with the CEO. So I got this for sales in October. And then, if you see my little necklace, I don't know if you can see it. It says PC. But when I hit 15,000 in sales way back in July, which I'm probably more than double that now, I got a 2% commission increase plus this beautiful necklace that actually just arrived a couple of days ago. So it's kind of funny because this happened in July, and now it's October, and I'm in a totally different sales space than I was then. Still moving on with my goals and having lots of parties and having a great time. So I wanted to share that with you too. Also, that we have a special for the month of October. It's going to end of October, October 31st. $40 off any of the kits that are normally available, our standard kits for the month of October. So you can get this started in this business for $59 because our starter kit is $99, our medium kit is $159, and our deluxe kit is $159, and our ultimate kit is $269. So let me just show you what that means. So yeah, so the ultimate kit would be $229. The deluxe kit would be $119 and the starter kit would be $99. Okay, so in the deluxe kit, which this is insane if you know about our air fryer here, which is my other #1 used product in the kitchen now. If you notice, I have no toaster oven on my counter anymore. I got rid of it. This big honking thing that was on my counter took up a lot of space, and it didn't really work that great, in my opinion. I make everything in this air fryer now, including my toast in the morning, my frozen waffles for my daughter in the morning. I've made a toast of ravioli in it the other night. I roasted chicken in it because it has air fried, bake, roast, rotisserie, reheat, and dehydrate. And the reason I'm bringing that to your attention is if you were to join me on my team, the ultimate kit right now also includes the air fryer. And so you're getting the air fryer plus all the things that were in the deluxe kit for $229, which is like mind-blowing insane, because if you were to buy the air fryer, the price of the air fryer normally without having a party is I want to say $279, but I feel like that's not right. Oh, $279. That is right. And if you were to have a party, you can get it for 60% off. A lot of my hosts are getting this air fryer in their kitchen because they're having parties, and they're getting it at the 60% off price, which is fantastic. So that's like 100. We have two offers. We have 111, which is just the deluxe air fryer, and then we have deluxe air fryer kit, which comes to $159 with those deals. So air fryer, can't say enough good things about it. It's been a game changer in my kitchen. The other game changer in my kitchen has been my blender, which I've done demos with that before, but I mean, yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I actually made peanut butter in it, which was like insane because I knew you could make peanut butter with it, but I hadn't tried it, and I was like, what's going to happen if I try to make peanut butter in it? Well, let me tell you something. It was fantastic, and it works, and it's easy. So if I can open my jar, I need a jar opener. I can't open my jar. My hands are so weak, you guys. It's like ridiculous. It's like I'm like, husband, come here and open this for me. Okay, great. So if you don't know that water helps to open up things sometimes. So here's my peanut butter, and I have it in the refrigerator because it's just peanuts and salt, and you want it to be thickened up a little bit. And guys, it is the best darn peanut butter ever. It took me 2 minutes on grind to make it in my blender, and it's fantastic. It came out like this. I didn't do anything else to it. Put it in the blender. The blender did its work. I have homemade peanut butter. This whole thing was full, and it's already almost half gone. That's how good it is. My family is loving it. So I will never buy store-bought peanut butter again. This was 3 cups of peanuts that I got at Trader Joe's for like $5. This peanut butter will last me. It's 4 to 6 weeks, which is about what peanut butter usually lasts in this house for a jar. So that's what I want to show you about that. I used, for my fire roasted tomatoes this morning, I used my stone bar pan, which I already told you about. I'm going to put it in the dishwasher. I've already put my rectangular stone in the dishwasher, and it actually cleaned better than when I cleaned it myself. So that's how our new stoneware is performing, you guys. It's fantastic. So back to the kits and back to my team. I'm very excited about this offer that we have going on right now because it's a great way to get involved in this business. And what this business has done for me is it's given me a place to call home. Kitchen is my home, but this business has given me even more of a feeling of empowerment. And actually, it's funny because that's what my necklace said when I got it. It was like, this is about empowerment. This business is about empowerment. And I just love that because that is how I feel about this. How I feel about this business. I feel like it's not only empowering me, but it's empowering all the people that I get to service and the friends that I get to meet along the way that find so much joy in doing this business and find that much joy in cooking in their kitchen again, because one product that they've added or 10 products that they've added has made things so much easier. So that's really what I love about this business. I love that I can do it from anywhere. Like yesterday, right now, I have a few parties going on, and I was on the boat with my husband and my daughter, and I still worked, a little bit here and there before I got on the boat and off the boat, but I didn't have to check in with the boss to say, oh, I'm going out for the day on the boat with my family. That would never fly in corporate America. You can't just go off into a boat and work on the side. So I love it for that. And the day before that, we went to a pumpkin patch and we had lunch and we just did family things. So you can work this business however you want, whenever you want, depending on your schedule, which I think is really great because there's not a lot of opportunities you actually can really do that. So those are some of the things I really love. I also love the friendships that come from it. There's so many good people in this company, and everyone is motivated to help one another. So you're never on your own to get this business started. You're never on your own to throw a party. You have a question. We share assets and ideas, and everybody has different strengths that they bring into the team, and that's really great too. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, I'm part of the number 2 team in the company, and the team's only growing and becoming stronger. So, I mean, talk about a great time to join. This was like the perfect time for me to join and get in on a team that only wants to grow and only is excited and motivated. So that's really fun too. So, and just, I feel like kitchen cleanup is easier with these products. I feel more organized. I know probably I don't seem so organized all the time, but I'm a lot more organized than I used to be. And since I am not such an organized person, I am more of a last minute Lola type of person. Like literally I picked this dish 6 o'clock this morning, finalized on it, and 7:30 this morning I decided to fire roast my tomatoes, and here I am with the dish all done, before 10 o'clock in the morning for my day. That's the power of Pampered Chef. That's the power of what we have in our kitchen. That's the power of what we can do in our kitchen. Like, it is possible. And I think I've mentioned this before. If you see something in the recipe that you don't like, don't put it in. Put something else in, or skip it. As long as you have the basic elements in there, it's all about making things that you and your family are going to love and enjoy. And what I love about this dish is that I think it serves 8. So it's going to be good for a couple of days. In my house, and I think one of my sisters and I were talking about this too, we like to cook so that we don't have to cook every single day. So you have options of leftovers, right? You make a dish on Monday and Wednesday, and you alternate it for a couple of days. So you're not feeling like you have to cook. Or you change the dish. You take a basics of a dish and you make it into something else, which I think is really great too, because you shouldn't have to feel like you have to go through the cooking process every day if you don't want to do that. You should be able to do what it is that you enjoy and make it work for you and your family. I made beef stew the other day. I'm going to show you that. In my quick cooker, which is another product that I love. And I had an Instant Pot for 2 years. And so I just got our quick cooker because I had to get it because, that's what I'm selling. But I also really wanted to believe in it. So one of my client hosts lent me her air fryer quick cooker while she was on vacation. And that's how I get to try these products. And I tried them within a couple of days. I was like, I need to buy them for myself. So I did. And our quick cooker, I made this stew in like 40 minutes, I think it was total. Maybe, I can't remember, I posted it. But it was this delicious stew. So easy to make. And like we have that on rotation because I made that on Monday. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah. So I made that on Monday. So we had that on rotation. I made a chicken salad yesterday that was all Pampered Chef stuff. I'll post about that later. It was using the food chopper. It was using mainly the food chopper, actually, because that's really what I needed. Oh, I'm sorry. And then I used the air fryer to roast my chicken, which turned out amazing. I had 4 small chicken breasts. I had 2 big chicken breasts that I use the closing cut for to cut in half. Because you know how you go to Costco or whatever and you get those massive chicken breasts? So I put the chicken breasts in here. I closed this down. And then I cut them all the way across. And then I had 4 chicken breasts instead of 2 humongous ones that wouldn't cook evenly. I cooked those in the air fryer for about 16 minutes. And they were absolutely perfection, you guys. Okay, sounds like my buzzer went off for my orzo. So let's go check that out and see how that turned out. This is the grand cooking in the Dutch oven. I'm so excited. Oh, whoa, you guys. Okay, so remember what I said about the lid? Look at this. Did you see the lid drop no moisture into the pan at all? Look at that. Look at that. Completely dry. No moisture in the pan because it distributed all the way all along. And here's my baked orzo dish, you guys. With the sausage, with the spinach, with the orzo and the chickpeas. Oh my gosh. This is why I get excited about cooking. When you have a result like this, and you guys, I never made this dish before. I never cooked in this Dutch oven before. And this dish just looks fantastic. I got some orzo kind of a little bit stuck in the bottom, so I'm just going to push this along with my silicone acacia wood spoon, and it just peels right off. Because our surface of the cast iron, I should show you this here, is doesn't stick either. So now if I had feta cheese, I would add it, but I don't have feta cheese. I think feta cheese actually would be a good add to this dish. I don't have any feta cheese, so I'm not going to add it. But my husband's about to head out, so maybe I'll have him grab some feta cheese because I think it might be nice, and also adding some olives in here,
Feta,
which you can add later. Look at this, honey. Come here, smell.
I can smell it from over here.
Look at this. So I added Italian sausage in it. This is a baked orzo dish with spinach
nice.
and fire roasted tomatoes I roasted this morning.
2 thumbs up.
Okay, I get the thumbs up for my husband.
Two thumbs up.
Okay, because he's the eater in the house too. So, and the great thing is our daughter will eat just about anything. So this will be really fun for her to eat too. Okay.
Feta cheese.
Yeah, feta cheese. I have some olives. So that's it, you guys. And you saw, I made this the whole time that you were here with me. The roasted tomatoes took about 15 minutes to roast yourself. And I never made this dish before, and I never cooked in this Dutch oven before. And here I am, the recipe follower, sort of. As you know, I'm not really good at following recipes. And I got a beautiful dish for my family for later on today. So that is what I mean when I talk about the power of Pampered Chef, how you feel empowered in your kitchen. I feel so good that we're going to have this delicious meal to eat later. And it just, I'm going to try it now because I have to. See what it tastes like. I do the fork test. Usually, no, I'm going to do the spoon test. Usually I call it the spoon test. So let's go ahead and do this spoon test. Get a piece of sausage in there too, actually. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's like, It's almost like a soup, but not. It's so delicious. Okay, make this dish, okay? So easy. Your family is going to love it. And yeah, if you want to add the feta and the olives, which I'm going to do later when my husband picks me up some feta, go ahead and do that. I think it's a good add. Always make sure that you know that your Dutch oven is going to be really hot. So make sure you lift it up with your mitts. In this case, I have the mini mitts, which are fine for carrying for short distances, I feel like. And temperatures up to 450 degrees, I think it is. Okay, well, I'm blown away. I'm always blown away when something comes out so perfect and amazing. I'm blown away how nothing is sticking to the bottom of this pan, and any of the orzo that was a little bit stuck, baked on there, just came right up. I want you to take a look at this again and see it. How beautiful that is. And how much your family is going to love that dish. I mean, imagine serving this even as a side dish in the holidays. If you didn't put the sausage in it, it's a great side dish. Orzo is delicious. I mean, I haven't cooked orzo before, but I've certainly eaten it before. And with the chickpeas, oh my gosh, it's so great, you guys. Okay, so does anyone have any questions? I know I covered a lot today. I'm just gonna take a quick snap of this. I love this too because I followed the recipe pretty much, and I don't consider myself to be a recipe follower. I might actually put the extra sausage in here too, I feel like. Because my sausage is already cooked, so it's going to heat up in the pan. I'm going to put the lid on it, it's just going to heat up in the pan in the Dutch oven for a little while, and it'll be fine. So I'm just going to add this last piece of sausage because I feel like, why not? I was nervous about adding sausage because I didn't know what it would do to the flavor of the dish. But this is a mild Italian sausage, so it really just kind of blends right in perfectly with everything. Which I love that. I got some extras in here. Put that in. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the lid on it. And again, my sausage is already cooked, so I can just sit it in there. And I even might add some more spinach, too, I'm thinking. So these are kind of the things I always try to just sort of eyeball and decide as I go along. And since it's gonna retain heat in here, I'm just gonna add some more spinach, and I'm just gonna put it on the oven, on the stovetop, with the lid, and just let it sit for a little while. We're not gonna eat for a while anyway, because this is like a dinner dish that I made very early in the morning. So I'm set for my day, which is great. And I'm just gonna put the lid on it and just put it on the stovetop. So, okay, we're done. So you guys saw I made that whole entire meal for a dinner, obviously in less than an hour, because if I was to add the fire roasted tomatoes in, I'm at like about an hour. So that's how easy that dish was. And what a unique dish to bring for the holidays, to serve for the holidays, that people would just really enjoy. So, we are done. If you had a chance to watch this and you saw the dish, comment and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, comment and let me know. Like I said, this dish was super easy to make and super fast and super yummy, warm for your tummy. Okay, you guys, this is Jennifer Pelfini, Pampered Chef, Independent Consultant. My mission is to bring joy to your kitchen. I hope I was able to do a little bit of that for you today. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Thanks for joining me. I'll be posting all day long today with different ideas, different products, and different recipes. But this one was particularly fun because challenge yourself a little bit. Like, I seriously did not know what I was making this morning. I made this with the recipe. It was easy to do. That's just what the power of Pampered Chef. I'll post a link later of where all recipes are located. If you're looking for ideas for the holidays, for entertaining, for just your family everyday food, there's all kinds of ideas on our website, and I invite you to go check them out because they are tested and proven. All right, take care, guys. Bye.